Welcome to Aurora Around America. I'm Aurora, this is my dad. And today we have hiking, horses, and hot springs.
So we moved from Lake Whitney, Texas, all the way over 360 miles to Hot Springs, Arkansas. We had never been, we wanted to do some hiking, and we were on our way to Tennessee. This seemed like a good middle point. The site was a good site, mostly rocky, but we weren't there for the site. We didn't spend much time at the campground. The lake was beautiful. It was right on one of the lakes, and it had a beautiful view. You could rent kayaks or pontoon boats, etc. They had these beautiful silk trees all around the lake, which were really cool. So we stayed there for about a week, and this is what we did.
Hi, we're here in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and this is going to be our first hike since this year, actually. We were doing the Falls Branch Trail, and possibly we'll come back tomorrow to do the Horseshoe Mountain Trail. And we're very excited. So, here we go. As we hiked Falls Branch Trail, my sister suggested we run it. I was a little iffy about it, and probably a few minutes later we stopped. There was a lot of running water by the trail, and that was really cool. Mini waterfalls and medium waterfalls too. As we got to the end, there was this swimming hole. I waded in it, but I didn't have my bathing suit, so I didn't fully go in it. I wish I had my bathing suit though.
Would have been fun to swim in it, right?
Yeah, it would have.
Yeah, there were a lot of people swimming in it. Looked like it was part of Lake Catherine, which is part of the Hot Springs area, and there were RVers and day hikers, and it just was nice. We were allowed to do a lot of swimming. It was connected to a lake, a lot of boating, fishing, etc. So it was an enjoyable little area, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
All right, cool.
We're at Lake Catherine State Park, and we are just about to ride horses. I'm so excited. For my mom's birthday, we did a horseback riding trail through the woods. It was lots of fun. My sister was a bit scared of petting the horse, but I went right in.
When's the last time you horseback rode?
Actually, it was my lessons. Was it that a year ago? I think it was a year ago.
Last summer, right? We did
Yeah,
the horseback riding lessons over the summer.
I hope if we go back to Chicago, I can take more.
We'll see. It was the first time I'd ever ridden a horse with a cowboy hat.
Yeah,
so that was fun. And yeah, so we enjoyed that. That was a really it was a good time, and it was a great price. Lake Catherine, it was about $30 per person for the ride, which for a horseback ride that was cheap.
Yeah, but it was funny. My horse and Nina's horse, it kind of impersonated us, because my horse would try and get ahead of her horse, and her horse would just go off the trail.
It did. It just would wander off, and she would have to pull it back on. So it was quite funny.
Yeah.
But we enjoyed the ride, so it was a good day. So next, we went out and went to.
We had lunch.
We had lunch, yes, at the Hale Hotel, right?
Hotel Hale.
Hotel Hale. That was it. And inside the Hotel Hale, they had used to be the bathhouse, or one of the bathhouses in the bathhouse row, and it was actually the bathhouse that the Yankees would go down for spring training. So Babe Ruth during that era down in Hot Springs, and they had the horse racing, gambling, drinking, and they believed that the hot springs had rejuvenating powers, and maybe that's what made the Yankees so good. Who knows? I don't even know, but we definitely enjoyed it, and lunch was good, right?
Lunch was great.
Yeah. There was a cave in in the restaurant, and Mom stuck her head in it.
Yeah.
She swears she felt the energy or the electric power when she ducked her head in it. And there's a warning sign that says don't spend more than 5 minutes in the cave, and you must be fully clothed when you are in the cave. So that was
That's pretty interesting.
yeah, it was really it's the springs are such a fascinating thing. I would love to see more science on it, and see if they had measured any of the electric or the effects on the human body. So, but it was a good lunch, so we enjoyed that. And then so what do we do next? Behind Bathhouse Row, we have the promenade, and the promenade is where you can walk along and see all the hot springs coming out of the ground. So the water will flow down the mountain, and they have all different kinds of man-made little basins that catch the hot spring water that is coming up out of the ground. And when it pools, it creates steam and mist, right? You guys stood in the steam and mist?
Yeah, if you stood in there, no matter how hot it was, for a few minutes even, you'd come out and it'd probably be cooler than before.
Yeah, so the steam is, the water's coming out of the ground at about 140 degrees, and even though it was 100 degrees outside, I mean, it was really hot. It was 95, and the heat index was up around 105, 106.
108.
108, yeah, it was really hot. It's still, the steam would make it feel cool. So yeah, it was really fascinating to watch all of this water pool in different areas. They have a lot of it under control. Most of it has been kind of, there's a lot of man-made or just different engineering that has gone into capturing this water and directing it into the bathhouses for Bathhouse Row or along the promenade so people can walk and investigate it. And it was really fascinating. So on the promenade row, we found the Peak Trail hike.
Yes, the Peak Trail hike. It was fun, and I think we got a hike in for that day.
We did.
Definitely.
It was about half a mile.
No, a mile. A mile and a half.
A mile and a half. Okay, so it was about a mile and a half. And then how high? You remember how high it was?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I think it was about 800 feet. It was a good climb. So it was a decent climb. I mean, every step was a step up. That's for sure. And it was paved for the first maybe half mile, and then the second half mile it was all rocky.
Hi. We're in downtown Hot Springs, Arkansas, and we are doing the Peak Trail. We are 0.2 miles from the hot springs right now. We're gonna keep going. We completed the Peak Trail. Here is the mountain observation, Hot Springs Mountain Observation Tower.
I think it's closed though, unfortunately.
It's way up there.
We would have had to climb the steps, or is that like a...
Maybe, I don't
Let's go
know.
to the front and
Let's
find
go to the
out.
front and check it out.
Yes, there was a tower, and it was open, but Dad and his stubborn self would not wear a mask to go inside.
I know, right? I need a mask to climb a tower. I hear you. Either way, so we thought we'd come back because you could drive up to the tower. We never did, unfortunately, make it back though.
Yeah, deja vu.
Yep. So it happens. And but we did get some nice pictures up there with the
Yeah,
family.
we did.
Yep. And that was quite enjoyable. And
We found a nice place to rest before we went back down.
yep. And then we walked back down and headed back to the campground where we spent basically Monday and Tuesday getting ready for the next jump from Hot Springs, Arkansas to Hurricane, Tennessee.
Yes, and
Yeah.
then a day later, we had to go here to Pigeon Forge.
Packed up, and we are now in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Now
Just-
that might seem really easy, but when you're waking up at 5, it's not.
Yeah, we started. We used to get up whenever we'd get up, and then we'd kind of take about an hour and a half to pack up the RV, and then we'd get moving. And usually we'd hit the road by 11 a.m. Well, we thought we would start a new pattern and hit the road earlier and see if that helped. So we're getting up at maybe 5:45, 6 o'clock, and we're hitting the road by 7:30. And yeah, the kids are a little bit more tired, but I think both Gigi and I like it a lot better. The drive is easier. I know we're done by like 1 or 2. We usually get into the campground, and Yeah.
You like it?
I know, right? It's crazy, isn't it?
It is crazy.
Yeah. So,
But the hardest out of all those 3 setting up, this spot was the hardest.
yeah, and we'll talk about that next week. We have a lot to talk about. We will definitely discuss our setup, which was the hardest setup we've ever had in 3 years, which was a little disappointing. But we got it all settled, and we're excited. So we're here in the Great Smoky Mountains for the next month, and we're going to be doing a lot of hiking. It's packed here. Don't think COVID has shut this place down at all.
You know, it's possible that we might even, go to one of my favorite places here.
Yeah, we'll see. We have a lot planned. We've already been on a couple hikes, so that was really fun, and we're excited to share it all with you. So, if you have the opportunity to give us any comments on this video, we'd love to see them. Any questions, anything you'd like reviewed in Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge, anything you want to know about it, we'd love to talk about it. We'll be here for a month. Please go ahead and leave the comments below the video. And where can the people find us, Aurora?
They can find us on Instagram at instagram.com at RVAmericanDream, or at our own website at RVAmericanDream.com.
Great. Well, that wraps up another week. I think it was enjoyable. Great. All right. We'll see you later.